So in this video, I am going to talk about debt. And can it ever be a good thing?
Greetings! This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you.
So what is debt? Debt is really an energy drain. Now, why does a source player create debt? Even if a source player is in a locked script, they still have choices. And debt is actually one of the choices that they can avoid. You see, debt is not written into anyone's script unless they choose those doors to go through. Now, if you have an unlocked script, it should be even much easier for you. So many source players, it's become commonplace. Debt has become very commonplace. It is the extending of your current situation and tapping into the future for something that you want today that you do not have the means or energy flow to have in this day. Okay? Debt is never beneficial for a source player. For one thing, it is a red zone connection. I know people think, well, how am I supposed to live? It's commonplace to have, to borrow, to have a mortgage, to have your home. It's commonplace to borrow, to buy a new car. I'm going to address some of these things right here, right now, right up front. Debt is a prison cell. It really is. Because when you are in debt, it takes more currency because you are paying interest. The interest draws more current out of you than if you would have waited until you could have afforded that thing that you wanted and desired. Okay? You may even change your mind that it's not even something that you really want or desire any longer. Debt is borrowing from tomorrow, which doesn't exist. You are taking yourself out of your now day. Sure, that shiny new car may make you feel good the first time you get into it and you're driving it around and it makes you feel good that you've got something until you start making those payments and then you realize that there is a really big drain, and it loses its shiny appeal very quickly. Now, this goes for houses also, and you're going to say, whoa, wait a minute, everybody buys their house with a mortgage. Doesn't it make sense? No, it doesn't. Actually, owning a house is never a good idea because you never really own it. Stop paying the taxes, the property taxes on that house. Do you still own it? No, you don't. It will be sold out from underneath you because you didn't pay the property taxes. So you never really own that place. Okay? If you don't pay your mortgage payments, guess what? You get kicked out. If you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Now, so you're in debt. You have gone in debt to go to school. Don't go to school and borrow money to go to school, regardless of how many different programs that they're going to sell you. Ask your source self if it benefits you. Do you really need that college education, that university education? Will it benefit you? How many people are making more money than any college graduate just because they've had creative ideas and they've put action to them? Do you want to work for someone else? Well, then maybe you need a college education. Do you really want a minimum wage job? Is that really what you want? Do you want to be paid by someone else? Do you want to be the creator of your future and to create your own business and be the one who benefits from your labors the most? These are all choices that you have to make. Now, most of you won't have that ability unless you have an unlocked script. And then you have to be comfortable with stepping outside of, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and take a risk. A risk. Depending on how good of a conscious creator you are and how high your frequency is will determine the success of being that business entrepreneur that does very well or not. But let's talk about debt. Debt is debtor's prison. That's hell. Hell is debtor's prison. Debtor's prison. It means that you have a debt that you can't pay, and they used to throw you in jail in the prison under the king's chambers, and that was called hell. Well, we can do a Black's Law Dictionary and see what the definition of that is. It's hell, okay? Debt is never beneficial for a source player. You are borrowing from the future to enjoy today, and that's not how you should be experiencing your life. And it will definitely not lead to your best life yet. Now, what do you do if you are in debt? And how do you stay out of debt? Well, how you stay out of debt is you don't buy things that you can't afford and you can't pay for out of your current energy supply. If you cannot comfortably remove that amount from your money, your finances, then you should not be spending it. How much are you spending that you are doing it simply because everybody else around you is doing it? Having to have the latest technological gadget. Needing a new car because you want to impress your friends. That's ego. Needing a new house in a better neighborhood because it's a status. Well, that's ego also. The stresses that come with these purchases because there is debt incurred is something that hangs over your head. It is a weight that weights you down in your frequency climb. It cannot happen any other way. And I know that that's the way the world seems to work. But you, a source player, are not part of this world system in that sense. And you can choose to live differently that will benefit you the most. You always need to ask your source self if it will benefit you. It is always going to be something that you are going to have to deal with to really fully experience your best life yet. Because the freedom that you experience when you are out of debt cannot be experienced any other way. Debt is the simple fact that you are not living in this day. You are tapping into tomorrow's illusion for today's experiences. Probably this video was not one that you really wanted to hear, but you needed to hear it, and then what you do with the information at this point is totally up to you. I can tell you that it will benefit you. You need to listen to your source self for guidance in this. If you've benefited from the videos and the information that I'm sharing on this channel, then consider being a supporter of this work as it benefits you and unlocks things for you that you can unlock no other way. Abundance, health, and prosperity to you.